Hi everyone, it's nice to see everyone again for one of our master's classes. My name is Brittany Ludovici, and I live in Luxembourg with my husband, which we've only been married for a year. Woohoo! I have been teaching kindergarten for the last 4 years at Edco Elementary. Both reading and writing play an important role in my professional life. For reading, I am always trying to keep myself up to date. I like to read books, articles, blogs, the materials that we've been completing in our coursework. That has been helping me stay up to date with the current issues in curriculum, things that I can try out with my instruction. For writing, I am constantly sending emails. I write letters and little notes home to my students' parents to give a little, either a positive note, like on something they accomplished or something they did a great job on, or just a little positive reinforcement for the parents to hear about their kiddos. I also read and write, while I'm developing my lesson plans as I teach my kiddos. And I also teach my kids how to read. Like I said, I'm a kindergarten teacher, so I have to teach my kids their letters, sounds, sight words, reading strategies, how to decode a word. I also teach my kids how to write, and I guide my kids through the developmental stages of writing that at first we just may draw a picture. Then for a word, we just may write one letter, and then it might become two letters, and then a word. Then we can produce sentences. I just like to promote my kids and build their self esteem with reading and writing because I want them to develop a love to read and write. And I think some kids, they don't have that self esteem and they kind of get down, not down in the dumps, but they just don't want to do it. So that is one of my main goals each year, is to develop that love for reading and writing and to build their self esteem. For my personal life, I will be honest with you, I used to read for enjoyment, but once I started my master's program and coursework, I kind of put that to the side just so I could spend more time and focus on the materials I had to read and kind of make sure I'm completing the assignments with all of my heart, my full attention. I remember when I was a kid, though, I would go to the library once a week and I would choose like 3 or 4 books, and then I would read those books throughout the week, and then the following week I would do the same thing over. So I do love to read. For writing, that is another thing I put on the side since I started my master's program. I used to write to my aunt who lives out in Pennsylvania. It was kind of like a pen pal situation. Excuse me. We would just kind of keep in touch with each other on any new changes with our life or kind of with things that are happening in our life as well. She still writes to me at Christmas time, and I respond back to her that way, but I really don't, or we're not able to communicate and write to each other as often because of my coursework, but that's something I will pick back up once I'm done. My philosophy for reading and writing, like I mentioned before, I want my students to develop a love, motivation, and excitement for reading and writing. As I teach my students the skills and I expose them with books and how to write, I always try to build their self-esteem and their motivation and to take risk. It's okay if we take a risk. That's how we learn. Um, for my aspiration, right now I love my kindergarten position. I plan to stay in this position for a couple more years. Since I only have been teaching for 4 years, I feel that I need to have a little bit more schooling underneath my belt, a little bit more trainings underneath my belt, and eventually I would love to become a Title I teacher. But in order for me to provide the best instruction for my students, I feel that I need to have a toolbox full of resources and the background knowledge and ideas on what to do with my kiddos. And I feel like my toolbox is starting to fill up with our master's coursework, but I feel that as a teacher, a Title I teacher, I need to have multiple tools within that toolbox. So I think once I have a few more trainings and I would say maybe workshops that are more literacy related, and as I continue through this master's program, I'm going to be able to continue to add those tools to my toolbox, and then I think I will be ready to take on the challenge as a Title I teacher. And I'm interested in this position because the school district I work for, there are a lot of kids who struggle to read, and they don't have the passion. They don't want to. It's too hard for them. They get frustrated. I want to be the person that helps them get over that. I'm no good. I can't do it. I want to build their self-esteem. I want to help them with teaching different skills, different strategies to help them become a better reader and to help them become successful.